So Zed, he's even brought this up with the Sami Arena case, the end of free speech. I don't think India has true free speech like over here in America. Maybe you guys do, it's just packaged differently. But I'm curious to see if Zed also agrees with, or at least has a similar take to me, about how this is crazy. And if you go onto a comedy show and you make a bad joke, apparently you can bring the whole world down. If you live in a society of oppression, eventually you too will be oppressed. And this is just what's happening, or at least what I'm seeing over in India, is what has been said. If your ideas don't succeed in a free market, in the place of free market economy, then how was it said? Then you can only resort to lies.
I'm sorry. Why this has to be the worst time to play any Kanye West song? Okay, I want to talk about दो चीजें. First of all, this whole समय रहना thing from start to finish, and secondly, what's going on with Kanye West? I'm not talking about Grammys जहाँ वो
Did he just say Kanye West?
अपनी मंगेतर को नंगू पंगू करके ले गया. I'm talking about tweets.
Apparently they're getting divorced.
The massacre of 6th February. 6th को हुआ था. But
they canceled another stand-up show.
In the room.
Watch your parents have. कभी 2 crore in cash.
ऐसे कंटेंट पर ताली नहीं, तमाचा चाहिए. तमाचा सभ्यता का, समाज का, संस्कार का.
Like, look at this guy. This guy doesn't look like he knows what fun is.
संस्कृति का, सरोकार का, सुविचार का. समय रहना बहुत पसंद है.
डार्क कॉमेडी.
अरे यार,
बदतमीजी का नहीं, अश्लीलता का नहीं, कुहड़ता.
And the issue is if you give, this is what I said in my original videos, if you give in to these people and give them the power, they're never going to stop that power. They're in fact probably going to take joy out of that power, out of using that power, and they're going to want to continue to use it, and it's only going to spread. It's not going to just stop. If you allow it to happen once, you've just allowed a slippery slope, because that's not where it ends. It's never where it
भाई
ends.
ये एक incest joke को ऐसे treat कर रहे जैसे रणबीर अलाहाबादिया को schizoid पर चला गया. Targeting a certain community, unlike certain someone. रणबीर अलाहाबादिया's explicit joke on India's got latent spark outrage. Netis. First of all, ये कौन बुढ़ाऊ mainstream articles लिखते हैं जो ये अभी भी big 2025 में ये शब्द use कर रहे हैं. Netizens ask him to be jailed. Case registered after row breaks out over YouTuber रणबीर अलाहाबादिया's call. रणबीर अलाहाबादिया vulgar joke row में echo in parliament. How is this hate speech? Hating who? And Professor Irony आ गया. Politicians क्यों hate speech पर complain कर रहे हैं? Now ये चीज start हुई.
Ooh, big facts. Zed, stand down on them toes.
He has got latent cake members only episode पे जहाँ पर beer biceps आता है and says this.
Watch your parents have sex every day for the rest of your life. Whoa. Or would you join in once and stop it forever?
Yes, that is it.
That's it's still insane to me.
That's what our politicians and national news is focusing on right now. Now I have seen लोग कह रहे हैं कि ये कोई international comedian का joke copied है. I have seen some people जो कह रहे हैं कि ये OG crew की वीडियो से उठाया गया है.
Would you rather watch your mum and dad have sex every night for the rest of your life, or join in one time to make it stop?
It's
Nope, we gotta cancel them too. You gotta cancel everything. Yeah, so much for free speech. It's insane.
not. ये 8 साल पुराना Reddit question है जो तब से recycle हो रहा है.
Spreading
by comedians,
indecency?
by
Bro, it's humor. It's not that serious.
YouTubers. In fact, बाहर you can easily see Sideman, Kai Cenat, Speed, even mainstream celebrities.
Shelby, that's not that
stand-up
bad. I've heard
comedians.
worse. That was my point completely. I was bringing up how you guys are borderline racist. If we go to the memes channel in Discord, it's borderline racism in there. And is it funny? Absolutely.
ऐसी चीजें normally बोलते हुए and no one gives a fuck. No one gives a fuck. But because हमारी country में comedy
Or what about the group chats that we have with your boys IRL?
politicians की कमी नहीं है जिनको हमेशा हमारे संस्कार protect करने हैं despite the
It will impact the kids' mentality, brother. Comedy is not where we stick a flag in that hill. Maybe in the classrooms, maybe in sports, maybe in movies, but not comedy.
non-संस्कारी cases जो उन पर चल रहे हैं, it leads to shit like this.
I don't endorse at all. There has got to be limitations. He's got an FIR.
In the name of content creation, perverted, vulgar, vulgar comments, dirty reports, dirty so-called humor which is not funny. It is all video.
Only in India ऐसी बलबुद्धि चीज पर
Is it bad? I thought that was
whereas
speed
कोई
for a
अमीर
second.
बाप की औलाद किसी को उड़ा के चल जाता है and उससे हम ऐसे लिखवाते हैं. Assam police in Pune to issue summons to comedians. Assam police officials reach Samay Rana Pune Assam police summons Ranbir Alawar से FIR. भाई Assam police कहाँ से आ गई? North East India जो mostly अपनी अलग ही धुन में चलता है. North East India इंडिया जो इतना मिस्टीरियस है कि चैट जीपीटी भी उसके बारे में कुछ नहीं जानती. The one time North East India tries to make everyone known of its existence is to cause an internet civil war. And of course, अजब गोस्वामी जैसे लोग and पूरी national media in general इस टॉपिक पर चढ़ चुकी है. Not because they care about youth or the social issues. इनको झाटे का फर्क नहीं पड़ता तुम लोग क्या देख रहे हो. The only reason ये समय रहने के लाड़े पर चढ़े हुए हैं is because digital media is the direct competitor of traditional media. It's no different than 2017 में Wall Street Journal started going after PewDiePie. All because YouTube ऊपर उठ रहा था and traditional media नीचे जा रही थी. And if you don't know, जो चीज वेस्ट में होती है समझ.
Well, it's just because traditional media has been built on a foundation of lies and manipulation. And when you can just go on the internet and find some guys who are passionate about a subject, it seems like the people who are experts, who claim to be experts, are just push a one-side narrative. But the people who are passionate, who are like, yo, I'm not an expert in this, I'm just really into it, they're able to articulate a much more fair, better viewpoint than the people who are, it's supposedly their job to do so.
जो वही चीज इंडिया में 6-7 साल बाद होने वाली है. Just because YouTube became popular in India very late. So news channels, media, they don't give a fuck about actual issues जो इस country में चल रहे हैं. All they care
don't give a fuck
about is उनकी audience जो YouTube खा रहा है.
Sponsor these kind of people, that you're doing a disservice to the country. And all these advertisers and these sponsors who sponsor and support people, like they will be responsible for all the harm that is done. So all these brands.
And this is exactly it. When you trust the mainstream media to come out like this, and they're using emotional language to try to manipulate you and gaslight you to not work with stuff like that, it's a comedy show. It's not that serious. We saw the same thing happen with Tony Hinchcliffe during the presidency run. It's just like, or when Trump was running for presidency, he made a joke against everything and everybody, and the mainstream media just completely manipulated it. And it's so obvious to everybody else because we're on the internet where you could just get facts instantaneously on your phone.
Sponsor and support people.
Now FIR का समझ में आता है because ये आप AIB के ज़माने से चल रहा है. But what I am shocked by is the amount of people जो शो बंद होने को justify कर रहे हैं.
मैं ना यार एक पॉडकास्ट में जाने वाला था अभी, बियर बाइसेप्स, and we cancel that कि आपको पता है कि वो.
It's so sad that I remember this guy's like a big name figure. I hate that he's calling to cancel somebody else out because once more, if you want to live in a land governed by oppression, eventually it's just going to get back to you. And it's sad because he's wearing Gucci and he's not being very Gucci right now. He's not saying it's all Gucci.
कैसी pathetic thinking है और कैसे शब्द यूज करे गए हैं.
भाई ये बंदा alleged rapist और sex trafficker
He's the singer who makes sad songs.
Diddy को follow करता है.
मम्मी कैसी है? Are you crazy?
इसलिए हमेशा बोलता हूँ मैं, ज्ञान चोदने से पहले अपने डिजिटल फुटप्रिंट साफ कर लिया करो. This is what Diddy has been accused of: sexual harassment, R-word, sex trafficking, physical abuse.
I think we all know what he's been accused of.
Sexual assault, sharing the footage, gang.
Oh my God.
Sexual assault, battery and sexual assault, sex trafficking, sexual assault, drugging and.
Wait, how is Jay-Z not in jail if he's being accused alongside of him right here, like an actual in name? What?
भाई ऐसे stats हिटलर के भी नहीं होंगे. Okay, I don't want to do head-to-head clash of titans.
I saw the halftime show. Of course I did.
You get what I'm trying to say. But yeah, why?
The list is bigger than a shopping, literally.
ऐसे इंसान को follow करके bro has the audacity to say this.
Pathetic thinking है और कैसे शब्द यूज करे गए हैं समय रहना के शो पे. मतलब ये हमारा इंडियन कल्चर नहीं है. किस तरीके से बातें कर रहे हो? ये कॉमेडी है.
अंकल आप कौन सी होस्ट पुल करने का सोच रहे हो इस रील से? मिडिल एजेड
We'll see what Drake does.
Not going to let you hit brother.
लानत है ऐसे लोगों पर जो खुले मंचों पर बैठकर माता पिता के संभोग की बातें कर रहे हैं, जिनको ईश्वर का दर्जा प्राप्त है. और लानत है इस देश के लोगों पर जो बैठकर तालियां बजा रहे हैं आवाज. और लानत है इस देश हमारे कंधों पर तालियां बजा रहे हैं आवाज. बंद कर हमारे कंधों.
Yeah, this guy doesn't look like he knows how to have fun either.
जमीन पे
इस आदमी के 15 9/11 और 6 मेंटल ब्रेकडाउन्स चल रहे हैं जस्ट बिकॉज रेबल किड ने एक लड़के को गाली दे दी. एंड भाई जिन संस्कारों जिन कल्चर को ये लोग डिफेंड कर रहे हैं वो अपना है भी नहीं, वो हमको कॉलोनियलिज्म से मिला है. वरना इंडिया इतना प्रोग्रेसिव था कि उसकी वजाइना बोलने से तेरी गांड निकलती.
वीडियो को इतना शेयर करो कि बच्चे तक पहुंचे. शेयर करो कि लाख लोगों में से अगर 1000 भी इस वीडियो को देखकर बदल रहे हैं.
यस, हमारा कल्चर संकट में, हमारा देश संकट में, हमारे संस्कार संकट में. बट मेरी वीडियो को शेयर करना मत भूलना. मेरी संस्कारों का रक्षक बनने के लिए फीस लगती है.
It's so gross. It's just emotional language, and you can't logically get somebody out of a situation they didn't logically put themselves in.
बात ये जो भी सब ऑल ऑफ अ सडन समाज के रक्षक बन रहे हैं, जो पूरा टाइम रैम्बल करते रहते हैं कि युवा पीढ़ी किस डायरेक्शन में जा रही है, इन सब का एक कॉमन फेवरेट वर्ड है।
आज इस शो में देश के हर उस छपरी को बुलाया जा रहा है जो पीआर स्टंट के लिए कुछ भी कर सकता है।
Let's look at the history of the word he just said, breaking down why the casteist slur isn't as harmless as you think it is. These are a caste oppressed community of people who made or mended chappars, temporary roofs. This was the only job they were allowed to do because of their caste, which was assigned to them by the accident of birth. Has been a form of expression.
The accident of birth is crazy.
An assertion by historically oppressed castes when they managed to earn enough money. My point is, जो word तू use कर रहा है, it is an actual derogatory slur जो 10 गुना ज़्यादा worse है than the vulgar language they are criticizing. And by the way, अगर तुमने ये word बहुत बार use करा है, तुम्हें इस word का मतलब नहीं पता था, I do not blame you. But जो लोग हमारे संस्कार और traditions को weaponize करके खड़े हो जाते हैं to take a stand against vulgarity, you would expect कि जो words वो खुद use कर रहे हैं, उनको उसकी casteist history पता होगी. And by the way, this is not just
Man, Drew, I've been trying to be fair to Drew, but this was just insane. I was like, man, this is just, it's so sad to see.
तुम्हें ये word बहुत दिखेगा used by 25 साल 30 साल के लोग to refer to this young generation.
It's a show that's supposed to mimic Kill Tony over here in America, and it's dark, it's super edgy, it's fucked up. But that's the whole point of the show. No one's taking it literally. We're going in there for that expectation to have a good time and to laugh. It's insane.
For example, Dhruv Rathi, जिसने इस situation पे comment किया, I've always been strongly against abusive and vulgar language. In the 1,000+ videos, shorts and reels that I have made, you won't find a single abusive word for anyone.
Okay, you won't find a single abusive word, but if you emotionally manipulate people or leave out facts or lie, that in itself may not be a direct abuse, but it's definitely an indirect abuse.
Instead, we need to pressurize content creators to make better content. Shows like India's Got Latent have the same impact on moral decay of
And the audacity to say we need to pressure content creators to make better content. The idea of better content, that's subjective to the community. You have no real control over that. For example, Asmongold just makes content just yapping and reacting to different things and gets millions upon millions of views, while other people will put their whole days, weeks worth and effort into a video that has way more, editing, way more thought, way more into it, and it's going to get a quarter of the views. Why is the one that's quote-unquote better because it has more editing getting less views than the one of just somebody yapping over somebody else's video?
Society has films like...
That's why you have no control over what is good or what is not good in terms of like better content. You just got to put yourself out there and just everything else. Just put your nose down to the grindstone and just let it rip like it's a Beyblade.
They need to be called out. Look, bhai, I don't hate Dhruv Rathi. I actually agree with a lot of things he says. But what in the hell is pressurized freedom of speech? And is it even freedom of speech if it's pressurized? And
Thank you, Zed.
जो भी ये लोग moral high ground ले रहे हैं, हम गालियाँ use नहीं करते. देखो हम कितने अच्छे लोग हैं. वो openly छपरी word use करते हैं.
छपरी लोग से के छपरी followers छपरी को बुलाया जा रहा है.
Completely oblivious to the word's history and how it's 10 times worse than the...
Like, I know I'm not a saint. I want to be like a quote unquote good role model in a sense, but like I know I'm not perfect, right? Do I want to be the best version of myself? Yes, but at the end of the day, I'm human. I know I'm not perfect. So I'm not gonna be the one to stand here on moral high ground. I guess that's ultimately what I'm trying to say here.
The गालियाँ जिसको ये criticize कर रहा है. So when you say things like ये चीजें युवाओं को influence कर रही हैं, ये logic तुम पर उससे भी गंदे तरीके से flip हो सकता है. This is also the first time on Reddit जहाँ पर you would expect कि लोग free speech को support करेंगे to be so happy over the moon about this. I have always hated Samir Raina for his cheap vulgar comedy, and with all this India's Got Latent controversy, I got what I wanted. Ban of Samir Raina's show. भाई किसी evil villain का dialogue लग रहा है. Now here are my points. I couldn't care less about Ranbir because the main culprit for this vulgarity is Samir Raina. Samir Raina's comedy violated freedom of speech under Article 19 restriction of freedom of speech, decency and morality. So it's completely legal to file a case. Bhai, I'm sure if you really look into it, probably...
Of course, on Reddit, it's just going in. They're just, Reddit is like a group of people who have never left the room and they just kept farting in that room, and they just kept sniffing each other's farts, and they're like, "Oh yeah, that's good, keep it going."
मेरे कमेंट्स में से कोई कर भी लेगा that using the C word is also probably illegal. तो क्या सबको जेल में डाल दे? कमाल भाई, I don't get the people जो censorship को support करते हैं because it is so slippery route कि once you go this route then you will find कि तुमने भी कभी ना कभी ऐसा कुछ कहा होगा जो तुम्हें जेल में डाल देगा.
Yeah, there you go. There's the critical thinking. I love it from him. If you want to live in an area governed by oppression, just wait, because eventually you too will be oppressed. And you're going to want the same level of empathy that you're unwilling to give to the people that you're trying to criticize and oppress right now.
That's the issue of censorship. I don't mind the ban, even if it goes against freedom of speech. And then there are people who are happy about this just because they don't find the show funny. Now I know people on Reddit like to pretend that they have reached this extraterrestrial,
That you don't have to find every version of comedy funny just because you find something. Yeah.
Cosmic levels of humor. इसको reach करने के लिए तुम्हें virginity regain करनी पड़ेगी. But even if समय का show तुम्हें पसंद नहीं है, how do you overlook the fact that comedy is subjective? अगर तुम्हें चाय नहीं पसंद तो भोसड़ी के पूरी 30 बता दोगे. Also by the way, जिसने ये first post बनाया था, where the person said, "I got what I wanted. Ban of Samir Raina's show." This specific person proceeds to say this. I recently saw a 12-year-old boy saying, "तेरी माँ का दूध पूरे भोपाल में बढ़ता है," and a lot of disgusting comments regarding the mom. That's a rapist in the making. And by the way, अगर तुम्हें लगता है कि it's having a negative impact, लोग willingly YouTube खोल रहे हैं, willingly उसके चैनल पर मेंबर बन रहे हैं, willingly disclaimer पढ़ के देख रहे हैं, then समय का काम नहीं है responsibility लेना, वो पेरेंट्स का काम है. भाई आर्ट, चाहे वीडियो, चाहे गाना, चाहे पेंटिंग, is supposed to be honest.
His channel should be banned. No.
कॉलेज के बच्चे सर का 2005 में भी बहन बोल रहे थे. I know, sounds crazy. YouTube आने से भी पहले. So the reason why AIB, BB की वाइन्स, ये लोग पॉपुलर हुए not just because of their content, but because there was a market जिसको इस लैंग्वेज से प्रॉब्लम नहीं थी. Because वो खुद स्कूल और कॉलेज में यही लैंग्वेज यूज कर रहे थे. So to them, it is just showing reality, a part of life. It's about how you say it. Most people just use it मजाक में. It's why जब
Shout out to Buvad, man. That guy is a legend.
late 80s में हिप हॉप इनिशियली पॉपुलर हुआ था, people tried to censor it कि आप लोग सिर्फ लड़की और गन्स के बारे में क्यों
Uncle
बात करते हो?
Titu.
Your songs, they glamorize the lifestyle of gangs, guns, drugs.
Our art is a reflection of our reality. What you see when you go outside your door? I know what I see. And it ain't glamorous. Freedom of speech includes rap music, right?
These two things can exist in the same environment and we can appreciate both. कोई भी अपना moral compass सुधारने के लिए समय रैना का शो नहीं देख रहा. People just want to escape their life and watch entertainment. It is
it's a bad issue when people who just have certain viewpoints and they're like, "Yo, I like this, everything else is bad." People who like the stuff that I don't like, they too are bad. Like that is not a good line of thinking. That's just a slippery slope that just leads to more chaos and more friction.
is not that deep. अगर तुम आज समय रैना को बैन कर भी दोगे, कल कोई और आ जाएगा. Because we live in a democracy and there is a market for this. So the point is, everyone is a hypocrite. जो लोग गालियों के बारे में कंप्लेन कर रहे हैं, वो slurs यूज कर रहे हैं. जो politicians एक सिंपल से सेक्सुअल जोक को hate speech बोलते हैं, वो धर्म के नाम पर actual hate speech फैलाते हैं. जो adult sites बैन कर देते हैं, वो खुद पार्लियामेंट में बैठ के फोन देखते हैं. Now as of right now, PM of Pakistan has invited Samir Raina with golden visa in Karachi to start Pakistan's Got Latent.
No, please don't.
एक न्यूयॉर्क की औरत ने पूरा मुल्क डिस्टेबलाइज कर रखा है और उनका अभी भी ध्यान कश्मीरियों पर है.
Yeah, we gotta figure out what's going on over there, because there is a woman over there from America who's just trying to take over that whole damn place.
Anyways, this was it. Subscribe and I will see you in the next video.
Bye, Zed. That was a great video. God, he is so good at making these videos. He's actually kind of funny, informative, and I guess it's kind of just affirming what I was hoping to hear from him, that the situation is crazy. And if you allow that show to end, and I guess it has ended, it's just creating a slippery slope where just oppression is eventually going to just find its way back towards you.